Hello and welcome to another episode of How Computer Works, and in this video we'll be looking at use of bits and by computers actually, but we'll be talking about generally why bits are actually useful. First of all, bits are very useful because it is it is very fast because it is actually traveling in the computer by electricity, so it has a very high speed, and I've actually talked about this in the first video of my series. So please watch that if you want to learn more. Then bits and can be used to represent on and off or yes or no. So it will actually help the computer to make logical decisions. And third of all, sequences of bit can be actually used for representing different data with the help of code, and I'll be explaining what a code is just short after this. So wait for that, and let me again tell, sequences of bit can actually be able to represent different data, such as A is represented as 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. I actually don't know if it's correct. I'm only saying this just to make it clear that this sequence of bit can be used to represent the letter A, which is not other than only a sequence of zeros and ones, which is actually the binary code used by computers. And before I actually proceed to what is actually code and how it is used by bits, let me just make one clarification from now on. One will actually be the bits on state of computer bits, and 0 will be the off state of computer bits. So now 1 will be representing off as 0 and 1 as 1. It actually doesn't mean that in the computer ones and zeros are flying. It is just something we are representing just to make things more easier to understand. So now let me tell what is actually a code. Suppose you're walking in a street and you see two flashes of light, and then momentarily stop, and then again another flash. So one flash, another flash, then a stop, and then again another flash. This actually doesn't mean anything to us, but if there is another person who is actually looking for these flashes, it can mm, it can actually represent to them that they have to now keep a look on that place area for or wait for someone to come in that area. It just means something to them, and it doesn't mean anything to them. That is because that person actually knows the code to what this message actually represents. So this code actually reveals the message, or it is just something that will help, that tells us what something else means. So to us it actually doesn't mean anything, but as that another person which is actually looking for these flashes knows the code, they will be able to understand what these flashes mean. And for anyone who isn't clear, this 1 means the flash and 0 means the flash is off. So that is what are codes. The code is used to actually not reveal the message, it something shows what something else means. So that's all for today, and that is how actually zero bits are actually useful, and how zeros and ones are going to be useful for computers. And that's all for today. If you have liked this video, please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for future videos. That's to learn more, please read this book, But How Do It Know, written by Clark Scott. This is the same book I've been using to explain the computer terms, and in this book you will find all the subject in more details. To learn more, you can click on the link in the description, or just visit buthowdoitknow.com.